Alright, so let's say you're making a new IP based in a stereotypical high fantasy setting. What are some of the essentials? You need magic, obviously. Also, knights and paladins. Dragons, can't forget the dragons. Oh, and of course, the most crucial element of all, the sexy ladies bordering on nudity. Ah, there we go. Yeah, Janna is prime early late design, in which seemingly no thought or effort was given to her appearance beyond just being another generic archetype you'd see in any swords and sorcery game. Her lore, at least, had a bit more effort put into it. She was an orphan from Zon, born with an innate gift for wind magic. After honing her talents to the point she became an avatar of air, very subtle, she joined the League of Legends to help right the injustices of the world, which presumably meant cleaning up the streets of Zon. It was only a short paragraph, but it was something, I guess. The issue is that, again, the design communicated basically none of that. Even before Riot started actually trying to give each region a cohesive aesthetic, Janna stood out like a sore thumb because nothing about her appearance communicated that she was from the Mad Science City. They literally had to give her an alt skin to get that point across, though that just raised the question of why they didn't make Hextech Janna the default look. Her current design looks more at home in like a mystical fairy forest or something. Janna's second bio attempts to address this by saying that her mastery of air magic granted her an otherworldly look, which I guess that's meant to be why her ears are pointy. Okay, so what I think they're trying to say here is that they want to evoke the idea of Janna being almost naked, but not necessarily in a lewd way, like a goddess, essentially. Plenty of classical paintings and sculptures depict deities wearing next to nothing, only censoring the erotic parts with, like, bits of cloth or strands of hair. I presume that's what they're trying to convey here, but if that was the end goal, they should have actually made her more naked, using hair or maybe like mist or clouds to censor her. Her outfit just looks like some kinky cosplay someone would wear in the bedroom. And yet, after the Great Retcon, Riot would double down on this angle. So, Janna's current lore is actually pretty good, in my opinion. In this version, she's a mysterious figure who resides on the isthmus between Valoran and Shurima, who has blessed mortals with fair winds since ancient times. She put wind into the sails of sailors, forewarned impending storms, and even shielded the people who lived there from danger. Needless to say, an entire religion eventually sprung up around this mysterious figure, who most ever only got a fleeting glimpse of as a small bird or an ethereal woman. While it's not actually explicitly stated, this incarnation of Janna is heavily implied to be a spirit, an elemental being that rose to deific status thanks to the reverence and beliefs of mortals. Now, granted, it was assumed that Kayla and Morgana were aspect hosts for a time, though that understanding of the lore is now dubious at best, so take it with a grain of salt. Either way, even when civilization advanced and began to forget their ancient guardian, Janna refused to abandon the people of Zon in their hour of need. Because of this, Janna's religion still continues in the Undercity to this day. People pray to her for clean air or protection, and she readily supports them. Janna's role in the lore now is that of a silent, mysterious guardian, which is fitting because apparently that's what her name literally translates to in Shuriman. People carry bird talismans in her honor, and there's even a whole holiday dedicated to Janna. Overall, I like this version of the lore. I really do. Even so, it still just comes off as Riot trying their hardest to justify why Janna looks the way she does, rather than making an effort to try and actually thematically connect her to the region she's supposed to be from. Credit where it's due, they at least give her some actual clothes in Wild Rift, but this outfit frankly makes her look more Demacian than anything. Maybe the idea is that this outfit is supposed to represent what the coastal people wore ages ago, though it doesn't really give me a coastal vibe. I guess my point, and the main problem with Janna, is that her lore has always felt like the writers are bending over backwards to try and justify her design. A good backstory can make up for somewhat questionable character design, but Janna's just doesn't. At least not in my opinion. She is the generic sexy elf lady you'll find in any barebones high fantasy setting, and for some reason Riot is hell-bent on tying her origins to Zon, the steampunk chemtech region. I mean, the idea of a wind mage or goddess providing clean air to the city that's constantly choking on toxic fumes isn't a bad one. But is this seriously the best we can do? I think I've made my point. Janna has never really had any major glaring issues with her story. She, like many champions, is simply held back by the outdated design philosophies of early League of Legends. She's a product of her time, but one that Riot seemingly has no plans to properly update because VGUs and even ASUs are sadly so low on the company's list of priorities these days. I suppose we should all pray for the winds of change to start blowing, because Janna definitely deserves better. But what do you all think? Do you think Janna's design can still be justified, or would she work better if she was reimagined? Leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I'll see you all next time.